one, yeah? Okay, read that again.
Yeah, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hands held first the heel of Esau.
So that whole birth was a spiritual birth, man. Okay, it was a spiritual birth when Esau came out and Jacob came out holding his heel. Alright? Because not only are we going to be the kingdom that's going to follow after them, we're the ones to put them down, man.
That's right.
Okay, and us being in the highways and the byways, man, we're putting the kingdom down. Okay?
This is devouring them with the spirit of his mouth.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? Isaiah 11, I think it is.
And also get Jeremiah real quick. Jeremiah 1. Yeah, read again and then Jeremiah. Jeremiah 1 and 10.
Yeah. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So Jacob is the beginning, is the next kingdom that's going to follow after Esau. Okay? And you know, and after the Roman Empire fell, we took over the Roman Empire, man. We're the ones that followed next after. There was no other kingdom that ruled after that, man. Okay?
See, book of Jeremiah.
Can I say something? Because when he said, when shall be the sign of the end of the world? This prophet is read, Esau is the end of the world. So that's showing you who was ruling during the time when the disciples inquired, what sign shall be the end of the world? That's right. So that Esau will be ruling. And Paul said it himself that the mystery of iniquity,
Right, 2 Timothy 2.
the mystery of iniquity is still at work.
Yeah.
The man of sin, that man of sin is Esau. All right. Yeah.
That's true, man. So at that point, so it was the Romans that were ruling at that point, man. Okay, so they were the end of the world that the disciples were talking about, man.
Right.
And in that scripture it tells you, man, Esau is the end of the world.
Fourth beast.
You know, the fourth beast. Okay, the Roman Empire, man. So now we are in that fourth beast ruling again. Okay, because that fourth beast, the deadly wound that was healed. Okay, so now we are at that point, we are at that time when the wound is healed. So for a little season now, they are allowed to deceive the nations again.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then now we are at the end of it now, man. I get what I told you to get.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out, to pull down, to destroy, and to throw down, to build, and to plant.
Okay, Jeremiah represents what? The prophets. Okay? And the prophets are set over what? The nations. To pull down, to root out. Who are we pulling down? Man? Esau's kingdom. Man. Rooting out Esau's kingdom. Okay, and who are we building up? The next kingdom, man. Okay, the brotherhood. You know, the Israelites bringing them back to their nationality. Okay, building them up to let them know who they are as a people. You know?
AKA the house of David.
You know what I'm saying?
Just got a precept, Jeremiah 5 and 14. Wherefore thus saith Yahweh, power of hosts, because you speak this word, behold, I will make the words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them.
Exactly, man. So the word of the Lord, man, is fire devouring these people, man. Okay, devouring this kingdom. Okay, just when they thought that they're gonna live forever and have space programs and all that, man, the Lord has brought His word now to His prophecies against them now, man. Get Jeremiah 28, where He says, "The prophets that have been before thee." You know, so the prophets have always. So basically, we're here to bring bad news. Okay, we're here to bring bad news to Esau's kingdom.
That's right.
You know, it's time up now, man. You've had your little season.
Yeah.
You know, your rulership. Okay, all you've done is destroy the earth.
That's right.
You know, look at the earth right now, because even when you have money in this kingdom, man, you can't really enjoy, man. You know, taxing the hell out of people. You know, oppressing people, nothing but wars, destruction. Okay, because Esau basically they're so greedy. If you made 3 billion last year, this year you have to make 4 billion. Even if it means you're destroying, you know what I mean? You see all these billionaires, what they're like.
Yeah.
You know, if you have 10 billion, what the hell are you doing with it, man? You know.
Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil, and of pestilence.
So the prophets, when you see your prophet, when you see the prophet, because there's no need for prophets when there's no evil coming.
Right.
You know, there's no need for prophets when there's no evil coming. When you live in prosperity, the Lord has blessed you. When the kingdom is set up, man, there won't be need for prophets to go out in the streets, man.
Jeremiah 28.
You know what you can get? You can get there's a precept where it talks about from the least to the greatest all shall know the Lord. So in other words, when Israel's in that state, they're not gonna have to be taught the word of the Lord.
No,
Everything's gonna be there.
No, but that's an everlasting empire when that gets set up, man. The people are gonna be nothing but righteous, man. You know, so the Lord is not gonna have any reason to bring about the curses that He brought on us when we kept going off. Alright?
This is Ezekiel 35 and 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Exactly, prophesy against it. Okay? Who's Mount Seir? Esau's kingdom. Okay? Against Mount Seir. Who are the dwellers of Mount Seir? The Edomites. Alright? And the Lord said, prophesy against them. You know what I mean? You know? All these people walking around here, man. Alright? So the Lord is going nothing but white is coming your way. It's time up. Okay?
Book of Job chapter 20 verse 4. Knowest thou not, it's of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
The triumphing of the wicked is short, man. Who are the wicked, man? Esau is the wicked. Okay,
Right.
the Edomites are the wicked. Malachi 1 and Job 9 and 25, 9 and then get Malachi 1 and 4. Okay? So the triumphing of the wicked is short and but for a moment. Alright? So your empire was never supposed to go on, especially an empire built upon wickedness.
Right.
Okay? Built upon blood. Okay? Built upon unrighteous laws, wickedness,
Sorcery, witchcraft.
Okay?
Unrighteous dealings. Translation. Kingdom is
Exactly.
translated.
We read that earlier on, so right in the 10th chapter. You know? So your kingdom now is going to be translated to another people. Alright? And really see all these people around you, they really desire for the righteous people to come and do the LF next.
Deep down.
You know, but the only problem that they have is when we tell them we are the ones, they don't want that, man.
That's right.
Now I know you guys, somebody else but you guys.
Right.
You know?
The book of Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So the earth is given. So who controls the earth today, man? Okay, the scripture is asking you if we are sent to, if it's not the Edomites, who are they? Who controls the earth today, man? Alright? If it's not them, then who is it? Alright, is it them Hamites there? You know? You got Malachi. Okay? So they are the ones that are in rulership on the planet Earth, man. And their rulership is only gonna be for a moment. Alright? It's only gonna be, the Lord just give it, because now we can see what it's like when wickedness rules the planet Earth.
Exactly.
You know? If you look around, man, it's even so hard for people to even have a beard on their face, man. You know? And every single morning it grows on their face, they have to shave it off. You know, every single morning he wakes up, it's coming off there. It's showing you it's supposed to be there, man. You know?
It's meant to be there.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and go to desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Jehovah.
So for a period of time when they were impoverished, after the Roman Empire came down, they were being chased in the cave, in the mountains, in the caves. Okay? They could not come up as a nation when they were nothing but when you read about the history about the caveman and so on and so forth, man, that was just before the 1300s there, man. That's their history. Okay? So at some point, man, but it was set for them to return and build the empire that was brought down. Go ahead, read that again.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will
everybody with tattoos, man.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
So they did return, man. They built their
That's
empire
the
back
thing
up
now.
again.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
their
yeah.
deadly wound was healed again, man. They took control of the planet Earth. Okay, they established their Western culture. They imposed their Western culture on everybody on the planet Earth.
Satan was used to do season.
Exactly. Revelation 20 said, a little season, everybody follows after their religions, man. Even though they are the Bible, it's their version of Christianity that everybody's followed. God is white. Jesus Christ is white. The angels are white. Okay? And everybody followed after that, man. They had democracy, their school systems. Okay? If there's a plague in any country in the planet Earth, man, who are the people going to go to first, man? They will look to Esau for answers. When the border kicked off in Africa, who did they look for answers, man? They look for answers. Why? They look for answers from Esau, because Esau is the one that was the standard of, the leader of the planet Earth. You know, why that?
But we will return and build the desolate places, thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them border of wickedness.
So the Lord said they shall build, but I will throw down. Okay, and they shall be called the border of wickedness. So everywhere where Esau is, man, they bring nothing but wickedness. Alright? So who are the wicked today? Edomites, man. Okay?
Pass me that out, brother.
And it says, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So they will be called the border of wickedness. People that bring nothing but wickedness everywhere they go. Nothing but oppression, man. Okay? Now look around the world now, man. For you to be a real man in this society, man, it's almost impossible, man.
Right.
Okay? As soon as you've got a strong voice with authority, you're being aggressive. Somebody can just have you arrested just for the manner that you speak, man. You know? And men are like that, man. Men naturally, man, have a strong authority about, they speak with authority, man. You know? Your woman can have you arrested, man. Oh, he was shouting. The tone of his voice was aggressive. I'm scared for my life. And that's have you come out your house, man.
Yeah, verbal abuse they call it.
Yeah.
Be arrested for that, yeah.
Or they would say, oh, he's overly controlling. Well, that's what men are supposed to freaking do. They're supposed to control, man. That's what they were built to do.
Exactly.
And they were built to be authoritative.
Right.
That's our natural build.
That's right.
Okay, for example, right? Like I said earlier before, men do the construction work. Men do all the building. I'll get to it, brother. Right? So if men are not authoritative, and here it is, right? You know what? So I'm gonna say this as well, right? This is how you know that Esau is a friggin' hypocrite, man. Because here it is, the powers that be, they're more authoritative than anybody else. But they've conditioned these men out here to be unauthoritative.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to what I said earlier before, because of control.
Exactly. When you see when the police come and stop you, the first thing they do, man,
Right.
they impose their authority on you.
Right.
They speak in a particular way to show dominance. Even the female police officers.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they train them.
Yeah. They got more to prove, yeah.
Yeah. They want to show dominance. They come straight away. They're controlling the situation.
It's all hypocrisy.
You know?
They square off to you,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. You know.
Even a woman, man.
But yeah, them women, they got a lot of testosterone nowadays, man. They got a lot of testosterone, brothers.
So Esau is the wicked, man, and Esau is the wicked that the earth was given, that the earth was given into the hands of.
A precept for you on the wicked. This is Psalms 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint me. Cast him down and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Of the wicked which is thy sword. And who is that? Esau, man. Okay? You know, Esau is the one that the Lord has used to punish our people. And Esau is the one that the Lord's going to use to bring all this society down to his brink.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which ye have made crooked?
Who can make straight that which is made? And who's made crooked today, man? Esau, man. I believe in the book Isaiah, he says, even if you show favor to the wicked, they can't learn on righteousness, man.
It's not in them.
You know, it's not in them, man. Okay, that's why they had the Bible. I mean, they even called themselves the Israelites. They even took their land. Okay, but what have they done in that land? Okay, nothing but abominations. Okay, the biggest gay parades go down over there. You know? Go back to
Job chapter 20 verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. No, it's excellent.
So their rulership is just about for a moment. Okay? It was never supposed to go on forever, man. Okay? Yahweh, what did Yahweh Shai say? If he does not cut short this man's rulership, there won't be any flesh to be saved. Okay?
That's right.
There won't be left any flesh to be saved, because they're going to continue going in the same way that they're going until everything is destroyed. That's why if any of you brothers that have Netflix, there's so many movies on Netflix. There's another one now which they brought up now about how, like now these robots are now producing babies. Okay, some machines somewhere, because there's no women now to bring forth children now. You know, the robot's name was called Mother. You know, like just like in the Matrix, you saw how they were bringing about the children. You saw that, that's how they, you know. So Esau even understands, if they carry on the way they carry on, pretty much there won't be any female left on the planet Earth. Okay, out of space somewhere, creating things out of space stations where people are going into, because they can't come back on Earth anymore. Why? Because the air on the Earth is not breathable. All right, and they made loads of Netflix keeps coming up with all these kind of movies, man. I keep surprising them, especially last year. You know, loads of them, loads one after the other, man. They had Bushwick. You know,
The scriptures say he is as death. He cannot be satisfied.
exactly.
And that's why we need a savior. This is why we need Yahweh Shai to come down, man.
That's right.
If Yahweh Shai don't come down, as it says in Matthew 24, there'll be no flesh to be saved. Because this man, if we say what it is, the Most High gave Esau this technology. And Esau's like a wild, unruly kid with this technology, man. Running amok on the earth.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He's a wild child without no discipline, man. But the Most High is going to give him that discipline, right? And he's going to be humble. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to say this is why I like to say this is too, right? That these nations, they have to be regulated on the rule.
Right.
Because they don't know what the frick they're doing, man. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
You know, because another thing is, yeah, they've been speaking about this 5G technology. Like I thought that's what it was, just a discussion about it. And the next thing I see an advert on TV about 5G or get super fast speeds and all that stuff. So that 5G is already here, man.
Here, man.
And they've already been speaking about how that 5G is really no good for the people, man. Okay, the radiations from it, you know, like the 3G and the 4G already, that's already no good for the people. But now they want to bring something that's even worse now, the 5G technology.
Yeah, that 5G is a killer, man. That shit will kill mankind on the planet. That's how, it's the 5G, the amount of radiation that brings out on the planet. Like, for example, we got, my phone is 4G. But even that's dangerous alone. That's even dangerous because that's all that radiation in there. So that can actually cause cancer on a higher degree, on a higher level, all due to radiation. The thing with prevents radiation is carbon. And if you notice, what Esau doesn't teach the people to avoid radiation is just that. Because that's also part of the plan of pretty much doing away with, maintaining humanity of the 500 million. So not only, the technology is good, but it also corresponds with their agenda as well.
Okay, because that 5G technology is one of the technologies that's going to be used with the chip, man. Right. Because the way the 5G is set up it's not the way it's different from the 4G, because the 5G they have to set it up like within meters of each other. You know, so there'll be a transmission in one place, and then within a short distance there's another transmission, So there's gonna be transmissions all over the city, man.
Exactly.
You know, and that's part of Esau's futuristic technology for him to have ultimate. So that way they can see exactly how many people are standing here without a camera.
Yeah.
You know, they will know there's 4 people there. There's a crowd of people over there. There's only one person over there. You know, so that's gonna be all part of the technology which they're using to bring in the chip, man. You know, so Esau is going ahead with his agenda. You know, because why? They do not have enough time.
That's right.
The Lord is coming to put an end to it, man. Okay, go back to Job 20.
It says in verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
So Esau's excellence is not mounted up to the clouds. They got their space stations. Okay, they got the airplanes. You know. But he says they shall perish like their own dung. Okay, when you flush your toilet, your shit is gone. That's it. You're not gonna think about it again. Okay, even if you go in the bushes, when you bury that shit, that's it. You know, you don't think about it again. That's why Esau. That's his portion, man. Okay. Right. In Isaiah 14, it tells you when all the nations lie in their glory, except them. Because all the other nations, after the slavery, they're gonna go back to their kingdoms and set up their own establishments.
And it says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
So our children, man, they're gonna read stories about these so-called Edomites, man. And they're gonna ask, where are they now?
Right, exactly.
They're not around anymore, man. Okay? Because that's always gonna be afterwards. It's gonna be Edomites and their empire. It's gonna be nothing but a story, man. Isaiah 14.
Now they won't be nothing, brother. You have to teach them.
Get 15 and 16.
Isaiah chapter 15.
You know, because at some point, first, before they're completely destroyed, they're gonna be brought so low that when you tell the stories about how they ruled the earth, man, it's gonna be almost impossible to believe, man. Just like it's almost impossible to believe that during the dark ages that we ruled the earth, man.
Yep.
We ruled all over Europe, and that's just a small period of time, man. You know, that's just a small period. That's not even that far away. The 1600s. During the 1600s, man, we were still in power, man. King James, the scriptures were translated into English, you know, and we were still around. So that's like a good 200-300 years only, you know. And now it's like when we tell people King James was a so-called black man, they laugh. It's almost impossible.
You know what that proves? Because you said 200 years. You know what that proves? That backs up the precept in Revelation 20, where it talks about how that beast, what is it, ancient Rome, will be wounded, but its deadly wounds should be healed. And then when it's healed, it should be loose a little season. So 200 years, that's that little season right there.
Because in that time, when they came out the caves in the 1400s, when they took over America, they built America, and they done it so quickly as well, man. You know, within a 100-year period, man, they had cities, you know. Okay, and now, you know, by the time we go to the 90s, you know, look at America, man, what it became, man, you know. So it's gonna be almost impossible.
Isaiah 14, verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
And the hell is not in a place where you burn forever, man. Your hell is just literally your destruction, man. The condition that you're gonna be in even after your destruction. You know?
Low estate.
Low estate, you know? Go ahead.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and considered it, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Because you're gonna be far from the cities, but in the fields, man, somewhere there, man. You're gonna be back to that gorilla state that you were in, you know. And you're gonna tell your story. Say these people there, they rule the planet Earth.
That's right.
You know, they built cities,
And it's going to be unbelievable.
it's gonna be unbelievable, man. Who, those people? Go ahead, Doug.
That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners.
You know, because that's gonna be you. When people see you, man, that's the power that they had on the planet Earth.
That's the part of the Most High had. You know, the Most High was able to raise them up.
Yeah. Good point. Samuel.
Made the base man, set up the basis to live.
Okay.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 8, he raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill,
You raise up the beggar from the dunghill. Okay, go ahead.
to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them.
So that's the power that the Lord has, man, to raise somebody up from who's in a very low condition, the basis of men. Because the last scripture, I believe, is Daniel. He says he giveth the earth unto the basis of men. You know, the basis of men is Esau. You know, and the Lord gave him that power. I mean, he raised him because he raised complete caveman and made him to rule the planet Earth. You know, that's the power of the Lord, man. And the Lord done that. You know, and that's why in the book of Daniel, when all those kings, regardless of how much power they had, the Lord reminded them that this power that you have in the earth, I gave it to you.
Exactly.
That's why that other guy, man, is it Nebuchadnezzar, the one the Lord made him turn into a beast. Okay? Completely made the powerful man into a beast. You know? Just so the Lord can humble him to show him that the Lord is the one that had the power over the earth.
He's calling the shots, man.
And now we're the beggars in the dunghill now, man. And the Lord is raising us up now to inherit an everlasting kingdom.
Exactly. You know, brother, there should be some more on that, man. There's some more on that Samuel's strong.
Okay, you go first, man. So did you finish on that one?
You let him finish the
So the other precept.
A couple of points. This is verse 2. I finished at 8.
That was first.
Right, the quick precept was Isaiah 45 and 5. I am the Lord Jehovah, and there's none else. There's no power besides me. I girded thee, so thou hast not known me.
Yeah, brothers, I don't mean to cut y'all, right? But there's like white doves spinning around us, man. That's spiritual right there.
What?
Those two doves, it was spinning around the camp. You know? So that's a sign of you know, it's a spiritual sign of hope, pretty much. Right, exactly.
Was that?
The Lord's favorite bird is the dove.
Right.
Sirach chapter 11, verse 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of have won the crown.
Exactly, man. Right now, who's never thought of now, man? Okay? Who's the last person that any of this nation can ever think are gonna rule the planet Earth? You know? Because as far as they know, as far as they see us, we're nothing but niggas. You know? That's why they mistreat us. Said when they go into these shops, when they spend your money and get out, you know? They don't see it, man. And that's a beautiful thing, really, man, because it's gonna be a massive surprise to these people, man.
That's right.
You know? It's gonna be a massive surprise when the Lord actually raises us up. You know? The wisdom 7:5. You know? And that's how the Lord does his thing, man, because the Lord likes to show his power. You know? The Lord likes to show his power in the most how can I even say it, man? In the simplest and most least powerful thing, man. You know? Here all we have is nothing but Bibles. Okay, we don't have armies. Okay, but it's through us that the Lord is gonna use to bring the whole world under subjection.
That's right.
You know? You have a precept?
Yeah, this is Matthew 20 and 16. So the last shall be first, and the first last. The many called, but few chosen.
And we We are the last in this kingdom, but we're gonna be first. You know?
Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints?
Exactly, man. But they're looking at us like, hold on, man. These people, you know, these niggas, we made fun of them. We refuse to give them jobs. Okay?
Right.
How is it that they're numbered among the saints, man? How are they Israelites? Okay, how are they the ones that are chosen of the Heavenly Father? You know? Because right now, man, it's even laughable when we bring out the precepts and we say that's us, man. It's laughable, man. We've had guys actually laugh, man. Ha 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 ha, and then they walk down the street. You know?
That's why people have such a hard time admitting that Yahweh Shai was a so-called black.
Exactly, man. You know, the greatest man ever spoken of, man. When we tell them he looks like us, man, never, man. You know?
But they have no choice but to accept it, because more and more so it's quite clear that he was a so-called nigga, the tribe of Judah.
Yeah, because we're had in derision among the nations. They laugh, they scorn at us, they think that we're nothing. All these heathens, they tell their children that we're just niggas, that we're nothing. So when you tell you that it's an international known fact that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, he was a very special man. So when you tell those same people that he was actually a black man, it's like, nah, you're just niggas.
Exactly.
They don't want to believe that the most greatest, or most special man, a son of God, was actually a nigga. They don't want to believe that.
Because when you look up the most famous individuals of the world, so-called Jesus comes number one. They have him as a so-called as an Edomite, but really just the stories, the man that's been spoken about in these scriptures, he comes number one. You know, they just have a false portrayal of what he actually looks like. You know, they have him looking like a so-called white man. You know, so that's why when we bringing out the posters to show that he actually looks like us, they don't want to believe it, man. You know, it's a hard thing to be. Not the greatest man on the planet Earth looks like a nigger.
Yeah, because they look down at black people.
You know, if it were to be proven in the churches, and the churches start teaching it, a lot of people will leave their churches, man. You know, they will leave their church. They're like, fuck it, man. I don't want to worship that Christianity of a black Jesus. You know.
Yeah, but you gotta understand as well, this society that we're under, it's all based on what they call white supremacy. So if you're gonna promote that kind of image out there, it's gonna upset what they want you to believe. It's gonna upset the whole thing. So they have to put that vibration out there that Esau is the the image of divinity and all that is good. Because we're talking about somebody that made a great move, the greatest spirit of life. So if we're gonna declare that he was a so-called Negro, right? It's gonna shut that whole supremacy ideology down easily. Out and easy, you know. So it's in the best of their interest to say that he was an Edomite, man. You know, it makes sense.
Yeah, because they justified their supremacy by saying that Jesus was white.
Exactly.
So he said, if God is white and Jesus is white, that must mean that I am, you know, over you. You know, but if they had found in actuality he was a black, then they gotta say, hold on a minute, wait a minute, that means you're superior to me.
Yeah.
That means black people are the superior beings. We don't want to believe that. We're white.